Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University, a world-class institution. Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate. Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy the game.
And coming to you live from the historic All High Stadium in Buffalo, New York, it's another edition of Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics. Tonight, the number one seed could be wrapped up here in Section 6 Class AA as the Lancaster Legends, 5-1 and 4-1 in divisional play, take the road trip to take on the red-hot Bennett Tigers, 5-1 overall and 4-0 in divisional play. Lancaster, a win tonight, they would wrap up league play. In Orchard Park, still in the mix. Bennett needs to get the win tonight and then take care of business next week against the Quakers to wrap up the number one seed in the Class AA regular season title. And hi, everyone. Welcome inside our broadcast booth. Our producer tonight is Dana Gunther. Josh Wilson is our camera operator. I'm Joe Kraus, and Ryan Mountain, the longtime basketball coach at North Tonawanda, a former football player himself in Maryvale. big rivalry with Lackawanna back in the day. Before we get your thoughts on this contest, we're going to step aside and honor America with playing of the Star Spangled Banner. You're watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics. And welcome back to the historic All High Stadium. Lancaster and Bennett, the top two teams in Section 6 Class AA. They've been the 1-2 punch for the last 5 years in running and getting ready for another matchup here in Week 7 of the 2025 campaign. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Kraus. Ryan Mountain is here as well. And Ryan, we talk about the intensity down the stretch. So much up for grabs. It's a huge one here tonight in Buffalo.
Well, I appreciate the offer to broadcast with you, Joe. This game is one that I attend or watch on TV every year. In my opinion, it is the rivalry of Western New York football. Coach McDuffie and the Bennett Tigers and Coach Rupp and the Lancaster Legends are two of the top programs in the state of New York. And tonight, I'd say number one, we've got a gorgeous evening for high school football, unlike last year where it was in the rain out at Lancaster. So I had to go down on that field and walk around and get the feel of the turf. It's a beautiful stadium here at All High. And for the people that chose to stay home, they can sit back, relax, enjoy an outstanding football game by two phenomenal programs.
And both teams having great starts to their season as well. Lancaster 5-1 overall, 4-1 in Class AA play. Bennett unbeaten in Class AA at 4-0, 5-1 overall. Their lone loss on a road trip to Ohio in Week 2 against the powerful Washington Massillon Tigers, 35-0. So Tigers against Tigers in that scenario. But Ryan, Lancaster with their big players back, Bennett as well. And let's start here with Bennett. Their running back, Jimmy Valentine, averaging over 10 yards per carry. He has been lethal in the backfield for head coach Steve McDuffie.
Well, not only him, but there's two other backs that are averaging over 10 yards a carry. And when you get three running backs that are averaging over 10 yards a carry, you know what that means. They've got an outstanding offensive line. So Lancaster has their hands full. Little undersized, but that does not mean that they cannot win that battle in the trenches with outstanding technique. And Coach Rupp and Lancaster, they pride themselves on technique, and that's how they win. That's how they win football games. As far as Lancaster goes, this season there was not a lot of high expectations coming in because they did lose. I want to say like 36 seniors and 18 starters from last year. So the expectations were not high, and they're really one or two plays that from what I understand, they self-destructed against Jamestown, not taking anything away from Jamestown, but a few plays away from being undefeated.
So we are moments away from the opening kickoff. Lancaster and Bennett are officiating crew tonight. The referee, Michael Benkowski. The umpire, Joe Argentieri. The linesman, William Baxter. The line judge is Tony Scanzuzzo. And our back judge tonight is Mr. Joshua Huber. Great crowd on hand here at All High Stadium, which first opened back on May 29th, 1929. The stadium was modeled after classic European soccer stadiums at the time. And about 60 years later, it was featured in The Natural that featured the late Robert Redford, a great baseball film. and we are back here in the year 2025. There have been a lot of great broadcasting crews over the years that have taken place here, taking place in the press box, and we are underway as the Bennett Tigers on the opening kick. They'll set up at the 35-yard line, and head coach Steve McDuffie. We also got a chance to talk with the running back Jimmy Valentine, myself and Tom Prince on our Wednesday night Football Weekly show, and Jimmy said that these are the types of games that he's built for and his teammates are built for, getting ready for that big postseason run.
Well, you mentioned the officials, Joe, and Scanzuso, running back of the 1985 sectional champion Maryvale Flyers, and Mike Binkowski, I think a permanent fixture here when you're talking about this rivalry. It's almost like he's always lead official here.
1st and 10 from the 35. First play, it is complete to the outside, and Jacob Dowell recording his first pass of the night. The Tigers quickly get to midfield with Jack Eskridge, the fourth, on the outside. New first down right at midfield for Bennett.
And you see Lancaster played off and soft there on the defensive coverage. That is out of respect for the tremendous speed of the Bennett Tigers. I know Coach McDuffie absolutely feels that when he's got 3, 4, 5 guys that can all run right around a 4.540, that he feels that speed is at his advantage tonight on this fast turf.
Gain of 16 on the last pass play. 1st and 10 at the Lancaster 49. Tigers go to the ground game once for the first time tonight with Jimmy Valentine. He's got a lot of calls so far this season. 11 rushing touchdowns so far on the year, including a pair against Hutch Tech, and then 3 against Clarence in weeks 3 and 4, 3 against Lockport as well last week in Bennett's blowout win. This time, Ryan, it's a loss for 2, 2nd and 12.
Great sign from the Legends. There were 5, almost 6 players in on that tackle. And they'll probably need all 11 tonight, but that's a good sign. That means they're making their reads and they are well prepared.
One man in the backfield. Leaping over is Valentine. He's still on his feet and then brought down at the Lancaster 35-yard line. A huge hit brought down by the Lancaster linebacking core, but a good run, turning another big run and another first down for Bennett.
Yeah, Coach McDuffie says, okay, we're going to try to the right side first. That didn't work. We'll go left. And the result was much better. That was almost a big play number 1 for the Tigers.
Jimmy Valentine, former St. Francis Red Raider a couple years ago, gets the 14-yard scamper. 1st and 10 at the Lancaster 35. Opening drive in the Section 6 Class AA Week 7 clash in Buffalo. As the handoff once again to Valentine, moves to his right. It's a couple of yards and then stopped short of the 30-yard line. In on the stop was first Ryan Smith for Lancaster, number 23.
A sign of a great running back, always falling forward. If you notice that, Lancaster played that pretty well. They read the pulling guard well. And then the running back finished the run through the pads, falling forward, which always gets you those extra 1 to 2 yards. And those add up, especially in a game of 2 evenly matched teams.
2nd and 6 at the Lancaster 31. Dowell on the shotgun. Takes snap, looks towards the far side. It is incomplete, just off the hands of Eskridge. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 with 9:16 to go in the first.
2nd and 6, a good opportunity there. That tells us that Coach McDuffie definitely plans on going for it on 4th down. But yeah, I love it. 2nd and 6, good chance to take a shot downfield. Probably was a little choice route there. If he's playing off, run the hitch. If he's playing tight, go deep.
Eskridge already with 1 catch tonight, a team high 18 catches for close to 300 yards and 2 scores. Back to the ground game goes the Tigers on 3rd down. Valentine and the pile, including the 2-way lineman Jason Warren leading the way. Valentine getting stopped finally by Cole Urban of Lancaster. It's going to bring up 4th and will call us about 1 yard here, Ryan.
Yeah, and you can see here on the field, I love the digital first down marker there at the 4. I don't know if I've ever seen that. So we've come a long way here out at All High. I can remember with the concrete bleachers in the background with the tree roots coming through, and hats off to the men and women that have fixed this stadium up nice.
Tigers in the I formation on 4th and 1. Getting the call this time, Tijon Johnson. It's going to be close as Lancaster is indicating that they were able to stop Bennett on this 4th down run. Waiting for the official call. It is enough, says Mike Benkowski, for the first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, he must have got it on the forward momentum because the Lancaster player there, excellent tackle, driving him back, but not after the first down. So this is what you're going to see out of Bennett. They're going to attempt to wear down the smaller defense of the Legends. This is what they do. They, Coach McDuffie's he looks at the game as from a preparation standpoint, but also he's old school like Gene Masters from Grand Island. Block, tackle, and execute. He's going to do all the little things well.
1st and 10 from the Lancaster 25. A short cut upfield, and then a quick tackle from Lancaster's Josh Okeke on the defensive line. It's about a 1-yard gain for Bennett. 2nd down coming up.
And you can see the size of Bennett up front. Those are some good-looking athletes. You're seeing height, you're seeing strength, well-conditioned, and look at the way they run to the line. That's so much. Nothing drives me nuts is when a team will break the huddle and walk up to the line of scrimmage. Back in our coaching days, we would blow the whistle in practice, say back in the huddle.
2nd and 9 from the 23. Dahl looks on the near side. It is incomplete. It's a lot of experience coming back for Bennett from a year ago that lost to Jamestown in the sectional semifinals in AA, which snapped 32 straight victories right here for Bennett at All High. 15 seniors back from that tough loss, and they keep chugging along. And you said the experience of the O-line just spreads out across the offense.
Yeah, and hats off to the Tigers. They got some retribution from that loss last year and a great 14-7 win against Jamestown, who's another storied program in the state of New York. A lot of pride there. So that's a huge win for Coach McDuffie and the Tigers.
3rd and 9 from the 23. Back to the ground game goes Jimmy Valentine. He finds the gap upfield. The legs keep on moving close to the 15-yard line. He gets some help once again from his center. Jimmy Valentine, a good run, and it's enough for another Bennett first down.
Yeah, and going back to the offensive line there, Joe, when they break the huddle and they're running up to the line of scrimmage, that's a mental thing. That we're coming again and we are just going to keep coming and coming until you stop us. And that when you're one of those defensive linemen and linebacker on the other side.
1st and 10 from the 15. A short carry. Dontre Hampton getting the call. He gets tripped after about a 1-yard gain by Lancaster's Braden Klinger. Klinger, the top tackler on the defense for the Legends and head coach Eric Rupp, along with 3 of Lancaster's astonishing and impressive 18 sacks on the season. He gets the tackle, does Klinger. 2nd down coming up.
Well, I don't know if they're going to have a lot of opportunities to get sacks tonight, Joe, because as you're seeing, Bennett is getting anything they want in the run game. And right now we're closing in on 10 minutes of the first quarter, and this is what Bennett wants.
2nd and 8 from the 12. Dowell looks to the far side. Incomplete. Nairi Feaster, the intended receiver on the play. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Bennett Tigers on their opening drive.
Yeah, Lancaster won that down without a doubt. Excellent pressure. Right on cue when you talked about the sacks. Nice call there. But interesting that Bennett's even choosing to throw down here because they're really getting anything they want. The last play might have been a score if the player didn't fall down. So you don't want to beat yourself down in the red zone.
Bennett has had a lot of success. 21 rushing scores from 6 different ball carriers as the Tigers trying to bump to the outside. Was the ball carrier that time Dontre Hampton, his 2nd carry of the night. Looks like he bumped in and then slipped. It's now 4th and 8. 1-yard loss. Check that. 4th and 9. We're just over 5 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, I believe that was the same player that slipped on the on first down or second down there. So this is back when you used to say, hey, we got to get some longer spikes. But now that you're playing on this turf, I don't know if that's the same situation there with the footwear. But that's odd that he slipped twice like that.
4th and 9 for Bennett at the Lancaster 13. Legends need a stop. High snap, one-hand grab from Dowell. He rolls to his left. Here's the pressure. The throw is up, and it is intercepted by the Lancaster Legends on the far sideline. The big break that Lancaster needed, but We have a flag. It goes against Bennett. Either way, it's an interception for the Lancaster Legends with 4:45 to go.
Yeah, and going back to my point about beating themselves in the red zone, the last few years, Lancaster has done just that. They've moved the ball right between the 20-yard lines, up and down the field on Bennett. But once they get down inside that red zone, 10-yard line area, last year was one of those years where I think, in my opinion, Lancaster outplayed the Tigers, but they didn't deserve to win. And what I mean by that is they had scoring opportunities in the red zone. They didn't take advantage of them. And hats off to Bennett too on the defensive end there. But that's going to be my major key for the Legends is I think they're absolutely going to be able to move the ball. They've got a dual threat quarterback that I know you're going to get into in a minute, but can they score down in the red zone?
2-yard pass play. Matt King to Ryan Smith to start the drive. We'll give credit to Josh Okeke according to the replay. They had the interception against Jake Dowell. Lancaster trying to take advantage of the early turnover, but the Bennett defense and Dontre Hampton have other plans as the Legends are stuffed. So 3rd down coming up quickly for Lancaster, a pass play and then a running play that gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down coming up under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, no score.
Yeah, and Bennett's saying right now you're not going to beat us purely with the run game. You're going to have to do both. So this is a huge play for quarterback Matt King.
King in the shotgun. Motion man and Colton Schaefer. 3 receivers to his right. The Legends go to the ground game with Daniel Ahern getting his first carry tonight. He crosses the 25, gets to about the 28-yard line. He's going to set up 4th and short here with just over 3 minutes left. Daniel Ahern, one of the top backs in Section 6. 10 rushing scores already, averaging 7.7 yards per carry, just under 600 yards on the season. He had a big week against Lockport 2 weeks ago, a 5 rushing score, 203-yard day on just 10 carries. As Lancaster with our first punt tonight, it is a really nice boot from the Lancaster Legends all the way back for Bennett to start at its own 21-yard line with 2:48 to go in the first quarter.
Well, so far, obviously, time of possession in Bennett's favor, but the scoreboard's still 0-0. I think the win there was obviously Lancaster stopping Bennett in the red zone, and then Bennett coming right back with a 3 and out. But for Lancaster, you still got to feel that you dodged a scoring opportunity from the Bennett Tigers. So, but if you're Bennett, I mean, again, you don't want to take away what you do best from within. So I thought there was a few pass plays there that they'll look at and say, oh, maybe that wasn't the best decision. Now they're going to spread out a little bit and see if they can move the ball through the spread offense.
Jake Dowell in the shotgun. It's a double run here for Eskridge. He gets to his left, finds the open space. He's brought down from behind past the 30-yard line. Big tackle from behind there from the Lancaster Legends, as that was almost a big story. So let's take a look again. Justin Tubner with the big stop.
Tubner, outstanding tackle, saved a touchdown.
1st and 10 for Bennett now at the 32. 2 minutes to play here in Buffalo. Delayed run for Valentine. He pops to the outside, still on his feet, past the 40, going past the Tigers sideline and all the way close to the Lancaster 40-yard line. Jimmy Valentine with the swivel hips and another big first down.
Yeah, speed, speed, speed. Coach McDuffie is going to try and get his athletes in space so they can make plays and get the best out of his team. And so far, he's doing that.
Gain of 21 on the last carry for Jimmy Valentine, all the way to the Lancaster 47-yard line. Jacob Dowell in the shotgun, only a sophomore, doing very well so far. So head coach Steve McDuffie, he gets to the play to set up to Jack Eskridge, who crosses the 45, and then he is brought down by Lancaster's defense. Second and manageable coming up.
Well, Sean, I was able to talk with former coach Sean Brusso, who's actually coaching at Rome High School out in Georgia. I talked to him the other day, and he mentioned that Ryan Hartwig uh, needs to have a big game on the defensive end. Free safety for the Legends. His older brother, Justin Hartwig, was an All-Western New York player, now playing at Brockport. But he felt that he was a very important player this week because Ryan's going to need to come down into the box and assist with that run support.
2nd and 5, and Lancaster was ready for that run play. Carson Sadowski in the wheelhouse of Jimmy Valentine. Couple of yards lost, 2 or 3 yard loss. Third down coming up with 1 minute left to go in the first.
All right, and we've got 3rd and long, and this is right where the Legends want Bennett, 3rd and long. But if you're Bennett, you gotta believe in what you do well. Can we get 4 yards of carry on the next 2 plays? As you can see, well, you can't see it on our screen, but all right. So now the Legends rolled up into tight coverage.
Dowell on the run, and the pass, a big sliding play. It is ruled to be a catch on the near sideline. Carl Barnes coming across the screen on the 3rd and 9 play. What a way for the Tigers to record another first down tonight.
Yeah, and that had nothing to do with the play call. That was all players making plays on the field. You couldn't see on the screen, but Lancaster rolled their coverage up into tight coverage. So the player was not open, but as soon as he saw his quarterback scrambling to the right, he came back to help his teammate out. And the quarterback made a nice throw, nice safe throw. Low, get the first down. Oh, he's a little short. Oh, they're going to measure.
So the chain gang is going to come out right now, stated 4th and 1 at the 37. I'd like to take a quick moment to let you know that we have another broadcast going on right now on Main Street, West Seneca East and Williamsville South in the Class B1 showdown. The Trojans are still unbeaten. Williamsville South just 1 game behind. Carson Harper and Tom Prince on that call right now. Both of these games tonight broadcasted on the Western New York Athletics YouTube page. WNYAthletics also on X, Facebook, and Instagram. We have been proudly covering high school sports in Western New York since 2016. The big 10-year anniversary coming up in January. So we have 2 games, and also our guys Francis Beck and Jake Fyock back at headquarters for the Player State End Zone show. They'll be taking a look at a lot of the action tonight. New Fane with a big game as well up in the northern part of Niagara County, as we are getting right into the thick of it here, the Section 6 football postseason. Week 7 matchup, no score, 28 seconds left in the first quarter. Lancaster and Bennett. After the measurement, it is 4th and less than a yard for Bennett to work with 28 seconds and ticking. The game clock is underway. Jacob Dowell under center. The handoff to Valentine. Spins towards his right. Still on his feet. Has the open space. It is a touchdown for the Bennett Tigers. A quick move from Jimmy Valentine. 37 yards out, and the Tigers score first.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of room there. Level, you're not going to catch them. Huge play from Bennett.
Carl Barnes getting, beg your pardon, it's going to be a 2-point conversion scenario for Bennett. Carl Barnes is Bennett's kicker and punter this season, as the Tigers. But Jacob Dowell goes under center. Here's the handoff, the carry going right up the middle, and it is going to be good. Bennett now has an 8-0 lead with 17 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. Let's take a look once again at this
2-point run. As an old timer, I'd love to see that. That's just basically lining up and saying, okay, this is a war within the trenches, and we are going to beat you. And if you're on the Lancaster side of that and you receive that over and over and over again, at some point that levee breaks and then it'll be Bennett's game. But as far as Lancaster, I have mentioned that Bennett's going to try and wear them down, but they are one of the only programs that has enough players in Western New York. They actually have two platoons. So what that means is for the majority of the players, 11 players play offense, 11 players play defense, and with a little bit of crossover, but for the most part, it's strength in numbers at Lancaster. You know, they've got a seventh grade team, an eighth grade team, a ninth grade team, a 10th grade team, and then a varsity where they might have a couple underclassmen up. As you see, an onside attempt there from Bennett. So that's going to give Lancaster outstanding field position. So a little risk reward there for Coach McDuffie. He's a little anxious. He feels the opportunity to maybe go for this one early, but it sort of backfires. And excellent job by the Legends being ready for that onside attempt.
Eric Rupp in his 10th year with the Lancaster Legends, 87 wins, 16 losses. His first year as a head coach back in 2016, he helped the Legends win the Section 6 Class AA title, which ended a 17-year drought for Lancaster. Since then, he's had a lot of success, a lot of sectional titles and regional titles as well. And as Ryan just mentioned, over 200 players in the program from varsity on down, including Daniel Ahern, one of the guys that made his way up through the ranks. He gets a good run as we are approaching the last 5 seconds of the first quarter. The Bennett Tigers striking first on their second drive. Jimmy Valentine, 37 yards out, his 12th rushing score of the season. Step aside for a short break. You're watching Section 6 football, 8-0 Bennett, right here on Western New York Athletic.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment to every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Start of the second quarter, Lancaster first and 10 on its own 45-yard line. That King in the shotgun. He looks towards the near side. It is complete to his receiver, Everett Fix, and he is slammed hard at the Bennett 45-yard line by Tejon Johnson. A good game there. And third down is going to be.
You're seeing some hurry up offense here from the Legends, and I like this. You know, you stick with what you do best, and that's what the Legends do. And now they've got should be enough for a first down. The chains weren't even moved yet. That's an odd situation, unless that was a first down already. Okay,
Looks like
that
it
must
was.
have been
So,
it. Okay, so now
yes.
they had gotten the first down, and
So after the catch from Fix and Daniel Ahern, about a 1-yard carry. Second down. That King in the shotgun. He looks towards the near side again. It is caught. Legends going along the near sideline and knocked out of bounds at the Bennett 35. On that catch was Aiden Banks. Does appear we have a flag on the field as well.
well, going back to the last play of the first quarter, Joe, there were 8 Bennett Tigers on that tackle. So Lancaster is really going to struggle to run the ball tonight. I love that Coach Rupp evolved in his play calling and is now taking advantage of arguably the best player on the field for the Legends, and that's quarterback Matt King, the senior, 6'3", 215. He's got a 67% completion percentage. He's thrown for 918 yards, 15 touchdowns, only 2 picks, and also 262 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. I think if Lancaster can get down into that red zone, he is going to be the difference this year because he, unlike the quarterbacks the great quarterbacks that Lancaster's had the last several years, which they always have a great quarterback, but he can run the ball. He's a dual threat all the way, and he's got the strength and speed to use his legs to help the Legends in the red zone. He's a very physical runner. And going back to Matt King, as he lost his junior year, entire year to injury.
He made just one pass attempt and then big knee injury in week 1.
Yeah, and torn meniscus, and he worked his way all the way back that he was able to practice with the team going into the final game. So and he never missed a practice. So that is the true sign of a servant leader.
After the penalty against Bennett, 1st and 10. Legends on the move. It's a handoff to Daniel Ahern. He gets stopped after about a 4-yard gain, tripped up from behind by Dontre Hampton, number 12, to the 30-yard line now, 29-yard line of Bennett. Early stages of the second quarter. We mentioned about Daniel Ahern and Matt King. Matt King completing just under 67% of his passes and also with 4 rushing scores, as here is the snap to Ahern once again. He dodges off one defender, and then he is stopped hard by the Bennett defense. About a 2-yard gain in on the stop. Nasir Tillman, 3rd down coming up for the Lancaster Legends.
Now you're seeing some hands on the hips of number 52 from the Tigers. That is a sign of fatigue. He's getting down slow. That is the downfall of having offensive linemen play both ways, offense and defense.
And there's a big stop from the Bennett defense, especially able to stop that time the Lancaster backer. And now 4th down coming up.
Yeah, that stick right there, Joe, that deserves a name. Number 63, who was that?
Number 63, Tony Peebles on the defensive line for Bennett.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play.
So 4th down coming up at the 25-yard line. Timeout is called, and we'll step aside as well. 9:42 left in the first half. Bennett leads Lancaster 8-0. You're watching Western New York Athletics.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
So a timeout called by Bennett with 9:40 to go in the second quarter. Tigers lead the Lancaster Legends 8-0. Legends trying to get points on the scoreboard. They now face 4th and 1 at the Bennett 25. Here's the carry to Ahern. Goes to his right. He's able to get the first down. A nice cut from Daniel. And then he's finally brought down from behind by Dontre Hampton in a host of Tigers. But Ryan Lancaster able to keep the chains moving.
Crucial call there from Coach Rupp. He went trips to spread out Bennett, but Ahern had a cut there. You could probably see it at home on the left side. If he would have cut left, he would have walked in.
First down coming up from the 20-yard line. King to the near side, but it is deflected by a Bennett Tiger. Looked like Nasir Tillman in on the action. And 2nd down is coming up as the ball is now going to be spotted at the 21-yard line with 9:19 to go in the second.
Excellent anticipation there by Tillman. You can't just sit back and relax in games like this. You've got to read shoulders, eyes, and anticipate.
King with the screen pass. It is caught on the near sideline, and the Legends able to get to the 15-yard line. Good catch off the screenplay from Ahern, showing his ability in the passing game, as well as we have seen in the running game.
Yeah, excellent call there by Coach Rupp, taking advantage of the over anticipation of the Tigers. So he saw what I saw in that anticipation. But what's great is Coach Rupp is 2 plays ahead, and that comes with coaching for 10 years and calling plays in this offense.
Here is King on the run. He is knocked out of bounds by the Bennett defense, but then a flag comes in.
Yeah, I think they're going to get on the horse collar there. The way that he was tackled from what we can see from this angle looked like a high up around that back of that jersey and twist it around. So player safety is always going to be number one concern. Yep, there it is. Horse collar. As you can see, the demonstrative call from the veteran official, Mike Binkowski.
Did he ever officiate any of your games back in the day?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He was a veteran back in the '90s when I played. In fact, sophomore year we played at Ralph Wilson Stadium versus Springville, and a heartbreaking loss against a great Springville team, and he was on that game.
So after the penalty on what was third down with 8:39 to go in the third quarter, we have a stoppage on the field. And every week, the Connolly Cup and Trench Trophy able to name its latest winners. Of course, this past week, kudos to the Connolly Cup for naming the Amherst Tigers as a team. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Tigers program. Former head coach Jason Beckman, his unfortunate death earlier this month, but some other big names as well. Nassim Dolly with a huge, big night for the Lackawanna Steelers against Maryvale, as well as Patrick Horseman from Williamsville East, Isaac Platt, the running back from Pioneer. And for the Trench Trophy, Taylor Engasser of Clarence, Ryan Garrigan of Williamsville East, Medina's Avion Johnson, Christian Pape of Kenmore West, who was in action last night in Kenmore West's close defeat to Niagara Wheatfield, while with Joe Sacco and Calvin Salisbury of Southwestern. We have an injured player on the field. Dana, let's step aside for a short break. You're watching Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
And welcome back to All High Stadium. An injury on the Lancaster sideline. Matt King, the quarterback for the Legends, is now on the sideline. A new quarterback in for Lancaster. 8:39 to go, 1st and 10. Legends in the red zone. Here is the snap, direct snap, this time to Ryan Smith. He gets a couple of yards, and then he is brought down by Jason Warren on the defensive line of Bennett.
Well, I had to step outside of the booth here to see.
Well, just hold on. Sorry, Ryan. It looks like Bennett is indicating that they recovered the football. So that is the second turnover of the night, one apiece, and the Bennett Tigers indicating they have it.
We're going to try and get a replay on that. It appeared the player was down, but going back, the injury, I had to go outside of the booth there to clarify that it was quarterback Matt King that was down with the injury, and it was, and now he's being treated on the bench. Looks like a shoulder injury. So a series of unfortunate events here for the Legends. An excellent drive down inside the red zone, and then they lose their quarterback, and unfortunately the Wildcat play there ends up in a turnover. But we're not going to get the turnover because it was a late call from the veteran official group there.
So Bennett will take over here. 1st and 10 at the 6-yard line. 8:24 left in the second quarter as the Tigers with Valentine fighting his way down the far sideline, still on his feet and then hit hard at midfield. A great tackle from Chase Sagliani tracking down Valentine. And we do have a flag, however, in the backfield.
Yeah, we've got a holding call. Veteran official Mike Binkowski calling the hold on the right side. And they're going to walk it back half the distance to the goal line. So a huge penalty there for the Tigers, as that's going to negate about a 45-yard run there for the outstanding running back Valentine. So this is dangerous territory for Bennett. All of a sudden, the pressure gets put on a little bit, not only by the Legends, but from within as well. The center quarterback exchange, the exchange from quarterback to running back. So we've been watching this game for years, and poor turnovers occur down in this area.
First and 10 at the Bennett 4-yard line. Valentine is standing halfway in the end zone. He gets the call to the outside, gets a few yards, and then shoved out of bounds. A big hit from Chase Sagliani. Beg your pardon, Dontre Hampton had the carry. Regardless, the Bennett only got a couple of yards with second down coming up.
Yeah, and we talk about the technique of the Lancaster Legends, Coach Rupp's program, but sometimes you got to evolve your game a little bit. And when you're not used to seeing this type of speed in your drills and practice and against your scout team, well, then you got to adjust your angles. So right now, Bennett's getting to the outside of the perimeter. So the outside backers of the legends, the ends, the safeties, you got to adjust your angle of pursuit. Otherwise, you're going to get beat to the perimeter. And if you football 101, if you can get beat to the perimeter, you're not going to win many games.
Let's step aside for a short break. Timeout on the field. You're watching Western New York Athletics.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
Timeout was taken on the field by Bennett. Beg your pardon, Lancaster. Both teams now with one timeout apiece. It is second down and short for the Tigers. Here's the handoff. Right up the middle go the Tigers. And that is how the next play will go. The Bennett Tigers riding with their young quarterback, only a sophomore, Jacob Dowell. We got a chance to talk with head coach Steve McDuffie earlier in the week, and he said that Jacob, he's still learning the offense, but making big plays. Hasn't thrown an interception yet, which has been critical for Bennett's success.
Yeah, I mean he's 49 of 85, 57.6%, 578 yards and 3 touchdowns and a pick. But he hasn't had to throw the ball a lot because they've been dominant running the football. But I do see in the huge win versus Jamestown, he had his most pass attempts. So that was probably one of those games where Jamestown had the players up front to negate the big scoring opportunities of the Tigers, which the Tigers aren't scoring as many points as they have in the past, and that's fine because they haven't. It's a different style. You just evolved to who you're working with here, and Coach McDuffie's great at that. But that game versus Jamestown, the 14-7 win, he was 15 of 21 for 181 yards. So he made the plays needed for his team to get that huge victory.
First and 10 from the 19-yard line. Tigers go on the right side of the field, and another good run here from the Bennett Tigers, continuing to move the ball. Looks like Jack Eskridge had that last carry, but now Bennett taking a look at one of its teammates who is down. We have an injured player with about 6.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. So Bennett with an injury timeout, and we'll step aside once again. 8-0 Bennett in front here. 6:34 left in the second quarter. You're watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back. The Bennett player that was down, he's getting assisted on by his teammates. Number 56, Jason Warren, a little shaken up. The only four-year player on Bennett's roster. He was part of that state title team back in 2022 as a freshman. Bennett was able to get that new first down up to the 33-yard line. And a quick out-of-town score at the end of the first quarter. West Seneca East and Williamsville South, no score. Heading into quarter number 2. Carson Harper and Tom Prince on the call on Western New York Athletics, as are we here at All High Stadium. Joe Kraus, Ryan Mountain, our producer, Dana Gunther, and Josh Warren in as the camera operator as 1st and 10 at the 32. Bennett, like we have said all night, Ryan, continuing to have success running the ball. And I'll get your thoughts in just a moment as a handoff goes towards the outside. A big bump for Valentine, goes off one defender, still on his feet, and then finally brought down at the 45, make it the 46-yard line. Another big run and another first down for Bennett. This running game has just been lethal.
And it's all been on the right side this entire drive. And I love that from a coaching perspective. You know, I was a little bit critical on that first drive that they got away with what was working for them. And this is complete opposite of that. Almost every single carry has been on that right side. And you see so many coaches, myself included, that when something's working, you get away from it. And it's not. You just keep pounding it until they stop it. And again, a run to the right. So the Tigers see something on that right side. There is a weakness in the defense that they've identified, and they are attacking it. And if you're Lancaster, it's time to evolve and take away what Bennett is trying to do. And then at that point, you know it's going to come. That'll be the counter from Bennett, and that's usually when that big play hits. So at this point, with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, if you're Coach Rupp and his staff, you're just hoping that big play doesn't hit on this drive.
2nd and 5 at the Lancaster 49. The Tigers once again going to the ground game. Here's Hampton, brought down just past the 25-yard line. Finally brought down by Lancaster's Ryan Hartwig. A gain of over 20 yards once again.
I believe I just set the table for that exact
First and 10.
We're live.
1st and 10 at the Lancaster 25. Hampton slips and recovers, and then he is brought down hard by Lancaster's leading tackler, Braden Klinger. About a 2-yard loss with just over 4 minutes to go before the halftime break.
Man, I'm wondering if Hampton forgot his cleats and he's wearing a teammates or something. He's got some slick traction there. But he's running a little bit high too. You want to get low and behind those pads. You get that good low center of gravity, and your footwork will improve. But the previous play, the big hitter, as you could see, Lancaster did take away that right side, and then it was just one step that Valentine took, and he had that run to the left. And that's a sign of a great running back that's running with his eyes.
2nd and 11. Dowell on the run. He now makes the throw. It is caught. Beg your pardon, incomplete along the far sideline. So 3rd down. It looked like it was caught, but out of bounds here. So 3.5 minutes to go left in the second. And 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, nice job by the Legends there, condensing the field, shrinking the field where the quarterback needed to make a very difficult pass inbounds. And hats off to the Legends, which brings up 3rd and long. And this is right where Lancaster wants to be. So it'll be interesting to see what the offensive coordinator for Bennett goes with here. Okay, shotgun.
3rd and long. Bennett already with the 8-0 lead. The motion man, Dante Parker. High snap with Dowell. He rolls to his right. He throws up a prayer. Couple of bounces. And let's see what this call is. But great pressure from the Lancaster defensive line on 3rd down.
That has to be intentional grounding. What is he? Was he pointing to a potential receiver? Oh, he called him in the grasp? Okay. So apparently they called him in the grasp. And must be the whistle was blowing. We couldn't hear down on the field. But that is an enormous call from an official.
Huge play. It's now going to be 4th down and a country mile. The ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Here is the snap. The point ricochets. The ball is still loose at midfield. Bennett is able to recover this. We'll wait for the official call. But the Lancaster special teams, we talked about it earlier tonight, Ryan. The special teams stepping up big here for the Legends.
But unfortunately for the Legends, they've got all the momentum to shift this game with 2 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. But they do not have their potential all Western New York quarterback, who I'm looking at right now on the bench, and they're wrapping his shoulder in ice. But next man up mentality is going to create an opportunity for the backup quarterback. Now that probably shrinks your play sheet down by about 75%, but maybe not.
So with 2:24 left in the second quarter, Lancaster and Bennett trying to get set now. Mike Gronkowski having a conversation with Bennett head coach Steve McDuffie on the far sideline. 1st and 10 for Lancaster at the 48. The Lancaster junior assistant gets off the field. Good sprint from him going towards the sideline. As Lancaster, 1st and 10. It is a handoff up the middle. Legends getting a big run into Florida territory, but there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage going against the Legends. Holding penalty, moving Ryan Mountain, the Legends, back 10 yards.
Yeah. Surprising call. That must have been a blatant, obvious hold to call at this juncture of the game with 2 minutes. The game's finally got some flow. Lancaster finally gets the ball past 5 yards, and we've got a holding penalty. Be interesting to know what Coach McDuffie was having the conversation about on that block punt. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Did you, Joe? Although the previous play, I saw the quarterback throw it over his head. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a varsity game. So
1st and 20 as Everett Fixon at quarterback. The pass on your sideline is incomplete, followed by a hit from Johnson. As the Legends receiver, that was Ryan Smith, he's okay. The pass is incomplete. 2nd and 20 coming up.
yeah, huge hit from the Bennett player there. Pass was high, fluttered a little bit. So again, going back to weather, it is a beautiful night here. There is 0 wind. Bennett has an 8-point lead. 2 minutes to go on their home field. Advantage Tigers going against the backup quarterback of the Legends.
Cloudy skies, a temperature of 53 is fixed. Back to Ryan Smith, but he is hit hard behind the line of scrimmage. A huge hit from the defense. Looked like Jimmy Valentine, Nairi Feaster in on the action. And now the Legends going backwards here on this drive. 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the holding call, holding penalty, I should say, from the Legends. That was a drive stopper. It took a 1st and 10 and turned it into a 1st and 20 and shifted the field by about 20 yards. And now Coach Rupp's just going to manage this last 2 minutes and get out of here.
Fix is on the run on 3rd and long. Looking for a receiver. Now he throws it. Is knocked away. Heads up play from Dontre Hampton. As the Legends were trying to find a receiver, there were 3 defenders in the vicinity of the pass. And this will now bring up 4th down with 1:29 left in the first half.
I like how the quarterback there, he didn't panic. He swiveled his hips, got his feet set, and delivered a pretty good ball. That's a good sign.
Dontre Hampton, the leading tackler for the Bennett defense, 59 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 3 pass deflections coming into tonight's Week 7 matchup as we have a timeout called by the Lancaster Legends. Last timeout of the half, and we'll step aside as well with 8-0 our score. Bennett in front. You're watching Western New York Athletics.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
1:29 left in the first half. Bennett with an 8-0 lead over Lancaster. The Legends currently in punt formation, but anything can happen in this wild rivalry. The Legends do punt. Nice kick from Christian Schlesinger, takes a couple bounces on the near side, and Bennett will take over at their own 35-yard line with 1:22 to play. Jimmy Valentine, the lone touchdown in this one with 17 seconds left in quarter number one from 37 yards out. The Tigers then convert the 2-point run. That's our score, 8-0. 1:22 to go, but your thoughts on this first half so far?
Well, in the present moment, minute 22 on the clock here at the scoreboard, if you're Coach McDuffie, you're definitely thinking attack and get some points on the board here, gaining all the momentum going into halftime. And if you're Coach Rupp, just survive this minute and 22 seconds and get out of here down 8-0, get in, do some coaching up of your backup quarterback and as a staff.
Pass to the outside, and then a big hit from the Lancaster defense on first down. Big catch from Eskridge, but then he is hit hard by the Lancaster defense.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal play out on that corner there, left corner. So, and it appears that the Tigers are going into a huddle here as the clock continues to tick. So, all right, if you notice, Bennett is not running up to the line like they did in that first quarter. So, is there urgency here?
Second down at the 25. It's a high snap. Tigers able to recover on the run. Then a throw incomplete on the far sideline. A wild play from the Bennett offense.
Outstanding play by Jacob Dowell. You know, there are no mistakes, only lessons. He learned from his mistake, previous possession. That is phenomenal play right there. One of those plays that goes unnoticed, but unforced turnover was almost there. It didn't happen. He tracked down the ball and had the mindset to get the ball away and throw it out of bounds. Huge play by the young quarterback.
Third down coming up at the 25-yard line. Jacob Dowell in the shotgun. It's 3rd and 19. It's a handoff to Valentine. Makes his move along the right side, but he is stopped after about a 1-2-yard gain. This is going to bring up 4th and long, and we'll give credit to a host of defenders. Colt Urban, one of the first on the play for the Lancaster defense. The clock has stopped with 24 seconds remaining.
Okay, that's an interesting.
Check that 26 seconds.
Interesting timeout there because Coach Rupp had already used his third timeout to pump the ball.
So 26 seconds left in this first half, and we'll keep this here as the Bennett Tigers lead the Lancaster Legends by a score of 8-0. Quick update once again out on Main Street. Last update, 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. No score between West Seneca East and Williamsville South. Two great games on hand tonight from Western New York Athletics, and our guys Jake and Francis in the studio till about 10 o'clock tonight with the Umpire State End Zone Report. They have the really nice Octo Box. They're able to look at 8 different games, including this one.
According to our stats, Lancaster was out of timeouts. So that tells us that Bennett called this timeout at 4th and 17, opposed to just letting the clock run out, unless they would have had to snap the ball then it would make sense. Let's get on the same page. But Coach Rupp's going to definitely come with a block here.
Here is the punt. The Tigers able to get it off. It's a line drive punt, tracked down by the Legends. Looking to make the move. And a nice return here from Ryan Hartwig. Does a little bit of everything for the Lancaster Legends. A good return. So with 17 seconds left to go, the Legends have a shot here to get some points on the board before the break.
Yeah, excellent job coming after it. Nice job by the Tigers getting the punt off, but unfortunately, right in the hands of Hartwig, an explosive playmaker and excellent playmaker and hard worker on the hardwood. Remember him as a freshman calling a Lancaster game. And he was really impressive as a freshman basketball player, and you saw a little of that skill there on that return.
1st and 10 at the Bennett 30 for Lancaster to work with. Here is the snap. Stepping up. Here's the throw. And it is caught by the Lancaster Legends inside the 5. A huge catch from Colton Schaefer. The clock's still running with 10 seconds left to go. Lancaster coming up to the line. Lancaster down to 3 seconds.
Okay, that shouldn't be. This is high school though, so the clock needs to stop so they can set the chains. There are no chains, but that was a bad call on the official. He wound his arm to keep the clock running, and he was probably thinking, well, he did come down in bounds, but you still get time to shift the. I could see the coaching staff from Lancaster jumping up and down with their arms up in the air, so that tells us that the officials made a mistake. It looks like they're putting more time on the clock.
Ryan Smith with the last big pass play in at quarterback with now 2 seconds left.
Looks like 2.9 on the official scoreboard, but they're communicating with the booth here. High drama here at All High.
So the game clock reset to 11 seconds flat.
And this was my 11 seconds. Okay, so this was my point of the keys for success here for the Legends. Can they score inside of the red zone?
Lancaster knocking on the door on 1st and goal. It's a handoff. Trying to fight for the extra yardage was Ryan Smith, but he is brought down by the Bennett defense. Lancaster trying to call a timeout, but there is no time on the scoreboard. Let's see how this will be. They might add a second or two here, Ryan. Maybe one last play. 2 seconds is put back up on the scoreboard as Lancaster tried to go to the ground game on 1st and goal.
Yeah, and obviously we were incorrect with our timeout calls. Coach Rupp did have another timeout left. So now I'm going to critique that effort right there. There was a lot of dancing in the backfield, and you don't have time to dance versus the Tigers. You got to pick a hole or guess, and you have to go, especially with, okay, we got
2nd and goal at the 3. Here is Smith with a deep throw to the end zone. It is caught by the Lancaster Legends off a tip. A heads-up play from the Lancaster Legends. Touchdown as time expires. Bennett thought they had the pick. Lancaster with a catch, still waiting for the call. What a play. Let's take a look.
right here. Washington Bennett, high off the knock that down into the hands of Lancaster, but
Looked like Chase Agliani had the catch, but there was a penalty on the field negating the score. So after Lancaster, everyone back home in Lancaster thought they had a touchdown, but it is called off. Now a big discussion on the field.
well, Bennett's team is all on the field, which is odd. They're out by the hashes. Now you can't see it on the screen, but now they're walking back. I believe the call was illegal man downfield. Yes, our producer Dana has given me the thumbs up. An illegal man downfield. How can that happen from the 1? Now, I know we're not supposed to be critical of the officials there, but that's a flag you keep in your pocket for a play like that.
The Bennett Tigers still have its defense on the field.
I mean, that's splitting hairs.
Here's the
in my
clarification.
opinion.
Clarification from Mike Binkowski,
Okay.
and now he says the half is over.
And now the half is over. So that's why the Tigers were out on the field, because it was blown dead. And
Maybe
oh
I
no, they
beg
can't
your
be
pardon.
over. They can't be over
Replay
because
of
they accepted the penalty. So Lancaster will get another opportunity. And a very wild. This is a wild change of events here, back and forth, and hopefully you're enjoying it home.
potentially one last play for Lancaster. That seems
Well,
to be the educated guess.
well, yeah. I mean, Bennett has to accept the penalty, otherwise it's a touchdown. So therefore, but look at the difference. They got the ball spotted on the 14-yard line. Excuse me, the 19-yard line. So I'm dumbfounded. Was
Well,
I
regardless,
mean, they
Lancaster is getting ready for the next play. So no time is left. This will be the last play of the half. Here is the snap. Smith stepping up, then throws a deep one to the end zone, out of bounds towards the parking lot. And that concludes, finally, our first half of action. Bennett leads Lancaster 8-0 after a wild finish. The Tigers hold on for the 8-0 lead. What a finish the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, we wish we can give you some more information on that, but it appeared the penalty was a legal man downfield inside the 3-4 yard line, but then they spotted the ball on the 19. Uh, I don't know. Is that supposed to be a 10-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty? Uh, Strange way to end a half. Watched a lot of football games, and I think we can both agree that was a fortuitous situation for the Tigers. But it's halftime now. If you're the Legends, you got to look at that as momentum. Okay, you just had everything work in your way. You moved the ball down. Unfortunately, you didn't get the points, but you can't whine and complain and make excuses at this point. You've got to take that as motivation to come out. And if you're Bennett, you've got to do the same thing. You got to say, hey, we just almost had a tied ball game there. We were fortunate that the touchdown was called back and negated with a penalty. So now we've got to take advantage of it, and we've got to come out with a 0-0 mindset. As Lancaster, I believe, gets the ball to start the second half, so it'll be a huge defensive possession for the Tigers to start that second half.
We'll step aside. More from All High Stadium in Buffalo, New York. The Lancaster Legends trailing the Bennett Tigers 8-0. You're watching Western New York Athletics.
Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University. A world-class institution, Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can link me later.
WNYAthletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can thank me later.
WNYAthletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Are you an AD struggling to keep up with the social media needs of your team? Check out Box Out Sports, a platform used by colleges and high schools all across the country. It's a true plug-and-play system where in less than 30 seconds you have access to over 1,000 templates that include your colors, your logos, and your information to highlight your student athletes. If you're interested in learning more, go to boxoutsports.com today.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal. Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal. Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Yeah, welcome back. Let's jump into it, Ryan. The big play of the night. Okay.
got a legal man downfield penalty on the field. I can't really see it from this angle, which is confusing.
Does appear the receiver in the back did step out of bounds.
Okay.
And then came back in.
All right. Now, that was another thing, is it could possibly be illegal touching. So what that means is the player that goes out of bounds cannot be the first to touch the ball. So if you look at that play, he was not the first person to touch the ball. The Bennett player was the first person to touch the ball. I'm not a football official. I'm just going off of some coaching experience and watching the game for 30 years. I don't know if that was the correct call. I mean, high school's different from the NFL. I know in the NFL, it's always about you can't be the first person to touch the ball. He wasn't. So if that was the case, that should have been 6. But what also was interesting was that play was, I believe, from the 3 or 4 yard line. And then, of course, Bennett has to accept the penalty, which gives Lancaster another shot. But the ball was placed on the 19-yard line. So is illegal touching 15 yards? Again, can't tell you. I don't think it is. I believe in college and the NFL, that is a 5-yard penalty. Well, that's a legal man downfield is 5 yards. So maybe illegal touching is 15 yards. In any event, here we are, 12 minutes left. We got to get our scoreboard out there. There it is, 12 minutes left in the third quarter. We've got 24 minutes of football in a dead even game.
Bennett with the 8-0 lead. Jimmy Valentine, a 37-yard touchdown run with 17 seconds left in the first quarter. The Tigers then converted the 2-point run, 8-0. Lancaster has had opportunities before that last wild finish inside the red zone. Legends are set to return the kick. It is tracked down by the up man. This is Everett Fix on the return, and he is brought down hard, just shy of the Lancaster 35-yard line. So Lancaster and the offense coming back to work.
Well, Everett Fix, he's actually was the one who caught that touchdown pass that was negated, but he's also he's a sophomore and a quarterback, 6'4", 190, and be interesting to see if he quarterbacks this second half. I believe he is going out there. That is the grandson of longtime football coach Tom Goddard, who I was just talking to. I had to go out there and do a little research into that last call. I was looking for Coach Jankowicz, but ran into Coach Goddard. So
here's the snap on first down. Ahern gets a couple of yards past the 35, gets to the 37-yard line. The Lancaster Legends with 3 different quarterbacks so far this season. Of course, Matt King has had the majority of the reps. He went out earlier tonight in the first half with an injury. Ryan Smith, so far coming into tonight, 3 of 3 for 79 yards and a touchdown. Everett Fix, 4 of 6 passing with 17 yards. As Fix gets the call, looks at his wrist. Daniel Ahern, the man in the backfield, 2nd and 10. The Legends go back to the ground again. It's going to be about a 1-yard gain, and it does appear that Ahern is slow to get up after the last carry.
Well, the beauty of Lancaster is, like we said earlier, they're playing 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, all in the same system. And Coach Brusso, who's out in Georgia, he's always been the quarterback coach of those youngsters. And a point that he made about King was he knew the varsity offense as a freshman. So these quarterbacks are going to come in. They all know the offense.
And the pass coming from the arm of Ryan Smith. It is broken up. Nairi Feaster on the coverage. And Lancaster out of the halftime break is forced to punt. A big stop for Bennett, who, by the way, in Section 6 play this season, has only allowed 40 total points. They did allow 35 in Ohio in Week 2, but just 40 points scored against them when facing Section 6 teams, and they get another big stop there.
Yeah, excellent defensive possession there for the Tigers, but that was a different quarterback there in third down, was it not, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be very difficult to get in any type of rhythm for the Legends as far as the quarterback position goes. We got a huge play here for the Tigers.
Tigers with the open space on the punt return, finally brought down at the 10-yard line. A huge return from the Bennett Tigers, who go right back to work in the red zone.
Yeah, that's just exactly what this great move right there. Great move. Just run into open space. Excellent downfield blocker. If you can't crack back and block anymore. And it's very intelligent there from number 6 not to crack back and block, because that is a penalty now. So
good start for Bennett at the Lancaster 12-yard line. Power formation, big hurdle, Valentine, and then check that. Yes, Valentine on the carry. A good score there. Beg your pardon, Dante Parker, number 6 on the carry. And Lancaster able to get the stop, but second down coming up.
And Ryan Smith was just standing there at the end of that play. He had a good opportunity to punch at that ball and chose not to, as Valentine was spinning.
And Valentine gets the call. It's a fight near the goal line. Bennett trying to push Valentine through, and Valentine is indicated short by the official.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Tigers, because that was a good old-fashioned rugby play there. As you know, football originated from rugby, and I thought the whistle came after he crossed the line. So interesting call, but I thought Valentine and the Tigers deserved that touchdown, and Coach McDuffie is going to say, let's try it again.
First and goal from the 2-yard line. It's a QB keeper with Dowell. A lot of movement and a touchdown for Jacob Dowell on the QB keeper from 2 yards out. Bennett extends its lead.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Bennett Tigers wanted, they needed, and they got it. 3-and-out stop on about 2.5 minutes off the clock.
Jacob Dowell, we mentioned about his ability to throw the football for touchdowns, able to record its 3rd rushing score of the season. He had 1 against Hutch Tech in week 3 and 1 last week in what was a 56-14 finish at Lockport. Here is the conversion, and the Tigers trying to get through. They cannot. So our score stands. Bennett in front of Lancaster 14-0 with 9:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. What a drive to start off. Lancaster has to figure it out soon.
Well, remember that big stop right there from the Legends on the 2-point conversion. That was big, because they easily could have just felt sorry about themselves, or quarterback's out, and they didn't. So they showed a lot of pride there on that 2-point conversion after really getting bludgeoned on the 2 previous plays and getting driven back 4 or 5 yards into the end zone. So the Legends are here to fight. They got a lot of football left, but I will say this is a very dangerous part of the game for Lancaster. They've got to get something going, even if it's a good, long, sustained drive and keeps that defense off the field. It is 2 platoons. They probably will remain fresh, but obviously it's an advantage for Lancaster's offense to be on the field for a long drive at this particular moment of the game.
And the kick goes out of bounds towards the Lancaster sideline. The Legends have been in a lot of close contests this season. Week 1, a 29-28 win, non-leaguer against McKinley. Then in week 2, an 8-point win against the rival Orchard Park. A close one last week as well. They've taken on Jamestown down to the wire too. So Eric Ruppy knows this is the time of year where they have to put it together, but they have the experience to support it, which is your experience too as a head coach getting ready for the postseason. It starts in these early weeks.
Absolutely, and Coach Rupp's the captain of the ship, and the quarterback's out. Game plan has changed, and he has to have the mentality. The ship is not sinking, but he's the first one bailing water and keeping his team and his players believing in themselves. That's another kick out of bounds, so I think Coach Rupp is also going to move that back and have him kick again, I would think. We get the option. Now, if you're Bennett, you've got control of the game. As of right now, obviously, if Lancaster doesn't score another point, they get out of here with a huge win. But what they don't want is to beat themselves. and help the other team. And right now they're literally helping the other team, shifting the field. So in these situations, the coaches will always say it comes down to turnovers and that's who's going to win the game. But what they're really saying is don't beat ourselves. Play our best football, play together, play as hard as we can, play good, smart football. And then if we lose, we can look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, we got beat tonight, and hats off to the opponent. But typically, a great program like these programs will look at themselves and say, it was what we didn't do that negated the win.
So on the third attempt on the kick, Lancaster able to make a return, and they'll stop at the 45-yard line with 9:20 to go in the third quarter. A really nice return from Lancaster. Looked like it was Chase Agliani on the return, one of the seniors for Lancaster. The Legends, as we mentioned at the top, graduated 35 seniors from a year ago that won the Section 6 Class AA title. Only a handful of players that have experience, quality minutes at the varsity level this season. Has 1st and 10 at the 45 for the Legends. Fix at QB. He takes it himself and makes his way about a 3-yard gain. And then he's brought down just shy of midfield.
Yeah, and as far as seniors go, Coach McDuffie had mentioned in that last year, Jamestown came in here and broke that long, successful streak, which is outstanding from Coach McDuffie and his program. But he did mention they only had 5 seniors. And what his point there is that lacks some leadership there. Great play here by the Legends. So this year he says he's got a lot more seniors on the team, which brings you more leadership from within. And that leadership is needed right now because they have to be continuing to attack Lancaster with a mindset that it's a 0-0 ball game.
Ryan Hartwig on the last reception from Everett Fix, a sophomore, back in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the Bennett 43. Legends trail 14-0. Daniel Ahern gets the call. He is brought down after about a 1-yard gain from the Bennett defense. Dontre Hampton in on the stop. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, and it appears the offense is running with a little bit more fluidity with Fix at quarterback. The other quarterback seems to be more of a runner. But Fix, not that he can't run, had a nice power run off to the left to give him a couple yards, but I think he's getting comfortable, and Coach Rupp's getting comfortable with him, and he's liking the flow of this offense. Oh, mistake.
And there is some movement in the trenches.
A false start, and that is indicative of having a different quarterback, a little different rhythm, a little different tempo, especially when you're calling plays in hurry-up offense. Cadence is different, so that's to be expected.
This will now bring up 2nd and 14 for Lancaster at the Bennett 47. Fix in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. Fix rolls out, feels the pressure, tries to escape. He throws the ball. It is going to be incomplete. Tight pressure from Herbert Chandler, number 8, as well as Nairi Feaster, number 9.
A phenomenal play there by Bennett, pressuring the quarterback, and the coverage downfield was sensational as well. Now, for our viewers at home, I am seeing quarterback Matt King with shoulder pads on, receiving shotgun snaps and testing out that shoulder. Looks like they got some sort of wrap on the left shoulder. So if Lancaster can get a score here.
Here is Fix on 3rd and long. He is able to move up, but then brought down from behind by Nasir Johnson. But a good 3-4-yard gain on the scamper. Matt King getting looked at by his trainer on the sideline, as you just said. 4th down coming up for the Legends.
And right there, obviously, Bennett won that battle on 3rd and long. Excellent job by Bennett defensively up front. And again, you can't see it on the screen, but really good coverage downfield. But for quarterback Fix, good move. Stepped up in the pocket, got a few yards, held on to the football, did not turn it over. So now they can pump the ball, shift the field, and rely on the defense.
Nice kick from Ethan Ludwig as punter tonight for Lancaster, and then a short return from Bennett. 6:34 to go in the third quarter. Bennett on top of Lancaster 14-0. As we mentioned, Bennett with tonight and one more, 2 games in pocket here in Class AA. Lancaster controlling its destiny. A win against Bennett this week. They'll wrap up league play with a Class AA leading 5-1 record. Their lone blemish against 2-loss Jamestown. Bennett needs to get a win tonight and then knock off Orchard Park next week. The Quakers are taking on Hutch Tech here in Week 7. And now the Tigers offense going back to work. Jacob Dowell with one man in the backfield. One hand grab by Jack Eskridge, who's under center for this play. Eskridge goes around towards the left, makes his way upfield to the 30. A flag is thrown as Eskridge sprints his way out of bounds. A flag is on the field here.
Okay, penalty came from the back judge from about 30 yards in. That was a long throw from the flag, but interesting that Bennett came out in a spread formation, and I'm only saying that because there was a couple high snaps earlier down in this area, and if I was on that staff, I might be getting into Coach McDuffie's ear there and saying, "Hey, why don't we come out and play this safe, up 14-0, only because of the 2 high snaps earlier." Again, you don't want to beat yourselves. But penalty here, I don't know what's going on because it looks like 1st and 10 again.
Clock is rolling. Dowell under center. Dowell drops back the pass, throws along the far sideline. It is incomplete. Looking for his receiver, Jack Eskridge, one of the top receivers in the section. He's also coming into tonight, team leader in catches and 2 touchdowns. But that one just a little too far that time.
Well, from Bennett, I like taking the shot, but it was from under center. A nice, safe, good old-fashioned drop back pass. But Hartwig, the safety, was all over that double team on the great player from Bennett. So nice job from both teams there. We got about 2nd and 9, it looks like. Pro formation.
Dowell takes a snap. It's a handoff. Valentine on the right side. He is hit hard right shortly after he received the football. Colton Schaefer on the stop, and 3rd down coming up for the Tigers. Legends trying to get this stop.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest play of the game here for the Legends defense. 14-0 game, 5:23 on the clock. In the 3rd. And you got them right where you want them as far as 3rd and long goes. So Coach McDuffie's going to dial something up here. Does he play it safe and go with a conventional run or play action pass? He's going to think about it. So good timeout there because this is a very big play. Timeout Bennett.
So 14-0 Bennett in front. We'll keep this here as timeout brought to you by Damon University, but a big figure. Well, we mentioned at the top about the different broadcasting crews that have been up here at Ojai Stadium. Of course, the big one in the 2000s with WJJL, Rich Kozak on the play-by-play, his team of the late Roger Weiss, Sean Brusso, Chuck Dockery, and as well as the late Art Cerati, a Bennett graduate from the class of 1957, and had a lot of success as a coach himself here in the city of Buffalo with the Grover Cleveland High School president. So much success on the football field. 12 Harvard Cup titles from 1964 to 1992. A memorable 28-game winning streak in the early 70s. 160 wins total, which is still 10th all time on the local scene. He coached some basketball as well. Art Cerati died this past April at the age of 85, a true Western New York legend, and he's probably excited of how the Bennett Tigers, his alma mater, are doing so far. It is 3rd and 9. Dowell dropped back. Here's the screen pass caught by Eskridge. Makes his way behind his center. Makes his way past the 25. Still moving. And then finally brought down.
Lancaster, phenomenal job there, but I love the call there by the Bennett Tigers and Coach McDuffie. Screen pass, and it was to number 0, Jack Estridge. And last year, Eskridge was the one that had that 50-yard touchdown versus the Legends out at Lancaster. He's explosive, so I really, really like that call there by Coach McDuffie, getting the ball in one of his most explosive, actually one of the most explosive athletes in Western New York. So great call, but hats off to Lancaster for being prepared.
Here's the punt from Bennett. It is picked up on the run by the Legends, going down the near sideline. Good return from Ryan Hartwig. And the Lancaster Legends have a good spot to set up shop as we have reached 4 minutes left in quarter number 3.
And I will say that out of the two teams tonight, got to give the advantage to Lancaster and the special teams. And that's another excellent punt return to their sideline. The old wall, everyone was keeping their blocks, and that Hartwig had a nice 20, 25-yard return, almost back to the original line of scrimmage that Bennett just punted to. So you want to talk about turnovers and stuff like that, what's the difference if they would have just fumbled there? There is none. So excellent special teams from the Legends.
Fix gets the snap. Hand off to Ahern. Makes his way close to the 25, and then he is brought down on the outside by the Bennett defense. Nasir Johnson in on the stop.
And Joe, that is not Fix at quarterback. That is the return of senior quarterback Matt King. So this is a huge, huge change of events here for the Legends, getting their senior quarterback and their leader back in the game, fighting through some pain.
2nd and 6 at the Bennett 25-yard line. King in the shotgun with a motion man and then some movement in the trenches. The penalty goes against Lancaster, 5 yards back. Now 2nd and 11 at the Bennett 30. 3:26 to go here in quarter number 3. So a penalty, head coach Eric Rupp said is one of his keys. We have to be disciplined as the clock continues to tick. Matt King in the shotgun, and here's the snap. King looks towards the middle, and the ball is broken up just in and out of the hands of Colton Schaefer. Joseph Peeler, the 4th, in on the coverage for Bennett. And now 4th down is coming up. Check that 3rd down.
Yeah,
Yes.
3rd down because of the penalty, but we got a player that's down from Bennett, probably on that hit, but great hit from the safety there. But I think if the Lancaster slot receiver cuts that off a little bit shallow, then that could have been 6. So he ran the stem of that route a little bit deep before he made his cut. But you see the difference with King in there. Now you've got your full playbook and your full attack. The only thing I would say that is going to be negated is his ability to run the ball. I think Coach Rupp will be a little bit hesitant to run him only because of that tender shoulder. But if it gets down in the 4th quarter and this game's all tied up, I think King's going to just say, no, I got my whole life to be sore. We're going to win this game. But great play there by Bennett. That was a touchdown saving play for sure.
Joseph Peeler, the 4th in the secondary, listed as 6 foot, 189 pounds. 3rd and 11 for the Legends at the Bennett 30. King on the run, and it's just in and out of the hands of his receiver in the right corner of the field. It was Aiden Banks, the intended receiver. And now 4th and 11 at the 30. Coming up for Lancaster, 3:03 to go.
Now, if you are playing street football, if you're playing gym class football or out in a lot, or if you're playing under the lights at All High Stadium, that pass doesn't get any more perfect. And if you're going to want to beat this great Bennett team, that's a play that's got to be made.
4th and 11 at the Bennett 30. King in the shotgun. He gets the snap. King steps up through the pressure, dekes away, now throws off his back foot. It is incomplete. Pressure from Nairi Feaster. A flag was just thrown. We'll see what the flag is for. Feaster had some great pressure going through the Legends offensive line.
Now, referee Mike Pinkowski Late flag called the intentional grounding, but I think it's the right call because although he was outside the tackle box, I don't know if the ball got back to the line of scrimmage, which would be the correct call. So hats off to Bennett there for outstanding pressure after the previous play where King had all kinds of time and distance. I like the call from Coach Rupp rolling him out, try and get him a little bit of space and vision, but little bit more difficult going to your left. So hats off to the Tigers. They made the play, capitalizing on the missed opportunity from the Legends.
Both teams exchanging.
Are they going to accept this penalty?
Both teams, Lancaster, a 3 and out, then Bennett a punt, and then Lancaster a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's a loss of down penalty. It's intentional grounding. Okay, so another shift in momentum here. This game's been great as far as momentum goes, and here we go with Bennett going back in the power formation. Art Sarati would be proud.
2:57 left in the third. It's up the middle to Jimmy Valentine. Gets about 2 yards. Check that, 2 yards on the carry for Valentine as the clock continues to tick. Our last scoring play was from the QB keeper, Jacob Dowell, at the 9:37 mark of this third quarter. Class AA showdown, Bennett and Lancaster. The two teams have gone head-to-head over the years at Highmark Stadium for the championship. Dowell under center. Here's the handoff on the right side of the offensive line. Goes the backer for Bennett. Brought down hard by Justin Tubner. Close to the Lancaster 45-yard line. A short run and third down coming up with 2 minutes to play in quarter number 3.
And Sean, the games over the last 5 years have all been there was one here a couple years ago where Bennett just really took it to the Legends, and then hats off to the Legends. They almost got him back in the championship. Just didn't get the job done. But statistically, the games have all been even. The big difference has been the big play capabilities and playmaking skills of the Bennett Tigers, and that's what Coach McDuffie is hoping for here. He's hoping that. Here we go.
Dowell drops back to pass over the middle. It is caught by the Tigers, tripped up at the goal line. A huge play from the Lancaster defense of Ryan Hartwig. The Bennett receiver is down, slowly getting up. What a big play. Hartwig with the touchdown-saving tackle, and it appears Dante Parker had the last catch. This is going to be Ryan first and goal. Not a touchdown.
Well, I didn't get to finish my point, but you know where I was going. I just had foot. That's a heck of a play because I guarantee that he thought he was going to score here.
First and goal for the Tigers. Here's the handoff. Legends trying to get the stop. Bennett is short. Jimmy Valentine on the carry. The clock ticks. 40 seconds to go in the third. Second and goal coming up. The last time these two teams met, we didn't talk about it yet. It was Bennett, a regular season 20-13 win over Lancaster. And Bennett has won 7 of the last 13 meetings over the last decade plus. Last 20 seconds of the quarter. Second and goal coming up. Bennett knocking on the door. Lancaster trying to keep that door shut. It is Dowell. The handoff ball is loose. Dowell able to pick it up. A heads-up play from the sophomore. Trying to get the exchange to Jimmy Valentine. As we are down to the last 5 seconds. And Bennett, instead of trying to get one more play in, elects to close out the quarter with a 14-0 lead. Don't touch your dial. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter. Bennett leads Lancaster 14-0. You're watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. Bennett leads Lancaster 14-0 here at the iconic All High Stadium. Another classic indeed. Along with Ryan Mountain, our producer, Dana Gunther, and Josh Warren as our camera operator. I'm Joe Kraus. Thanks for making this part of your Friday night. Here is the down on 3rd and goal. The run play up the middle. And a touchdown for the Bennett Tigers, going back to the ground game and expanding their lead.
Yeah, excellent run, power off tackle there. Again, Valentine always falling forward. I was able to play in the Tyro League for Riverside and Air Lanes, and that was the City Little League, and that's what these Bennett players, majority of them probably play in that as well. And
2-point run is good for Nairi Feaster. Jimmy Valentine, his second rushing score of the night from less than 2 yards out. Valentine was able to record his 13th rushing score of the season. 2 years ago, he was with St. Francis. He transferred over. Bennett enjoy him in the backfield. They now are now up 22-0 here in the early fourth.
And the backs have played sensational tonight, and the line has blocked their heart out. But in my opinion, this has been an excellent game for sophomore quarterback number 13, Jacob Dowell. He had the one bad decision where he threw the ball over his head, but that didn't break him. It just made him stronger. And testament to his teammates for picking him up and his coaching staff. But I think he's played a phenomenal game. He's had a couple of plays, the one that the snap over the head, he threw it away, and then the beautiful pass there that was just a finger away on a back of a cleat for being a touchdown pass. Even there, they had the bad exchange, and he didn't panic. I really think this has been a perfect game for Jacob Dowell for his maturity going into the sectionals, because you really need confidence out of your quarterback and your leader. And he's got phenomenal receivers and backs and offensive line. So Coach McDuffie's he knows he's got all the pieces he needs to win the championship tonight, because this is the AA regular season championship tonight, but he knows he's got what he needs to win the section and beyond. But he needs stability at that quarterback position. He needs confidence at that quarterback position. And in my opinion, he's got that tonight.
First down pass play, able to get to the outside. Ryan Smith connects from Matt King, as we have a couple out-of-town scores that we'll get to in just a moment. A lot of these players for Lancaster have played together, going all the way back with the Lancaster Junior Legends program, as a short pass to Daniel Ahern along the near sideline out of bounds. The Lancaster Junior Legends have been providing programs for boys and girls across the region for over 30 years. And since they expanded the football program to 7 teams in 2006, over 200 tackle players and 150 cheerleaders, and the group just expanded to flag football this past spring. As you can see, another big run from Aiden Banks to the outside, close to midfield. And next Saturday, for the Lancaster Junior Legends, they'll have a big day, the grand reopening of Walden Pond Park, an all-new state-of-the-art multi-purpose turf field. That's next Saturday. Lancaster Junior Legends, like we have seen, continuing to build these current legend players, as another quick pass to Matt King connecting with Banks a second time. Legends past midfield all the way to the Bennett 44-yard line. Matt King looking good after missing some time earlier tonight due to an injury. Then the hard count and movement in the trenches.
Yeah, obviously Lancaster's got a phenomenal feeder program going on out there, but again, I bring up the Tyro League of the inner city, and it's been great football for years and years and years, and used to have the Tyro Bowl. I was telling Coach Jankowicz before the game, I lost the Tyro Bowl in 1990, actually on Lancaster's field versus South Buffalo.
Here's the pass to the outside. Colton Schaefer does a little dance, but it does appear we have a flag down.
We got a flag again, but as Lancaster's trying to go hurry up, going back to the quarterback situation, if you're quarterback Matt King, you've got to take this. You can't look at the scoreboard here. You got to lead your team. We got a timeout, Bennett. Great timeout, but there's urgency now. Obviously, you don't want to watch the scoreboard. You got 10 minutes. You're down 22-0, but you got to come out of this football game with a couple of scores. And right now, they got to be thinking one thing and one thing only. We got to go down and get 6 points, and then possibly 8, because the bottom line is they're trying to gain some momentum going into the sectionals as well. So to come back and win this game there's going to have to be some turnovers, most likely, just because there's only 10 minutes on the clock, but you still can win that fourth quarter, get a little momentum going into the sectionals, and that's what Matt King's got to be thinking. It can't be why me right now. It's got to be what now. And if you're talking all that team camaraderie and growing up together and playing with each other, well, then they need to show it right now on the field.
Quick out of town update our other game tonight from Western New York Athletics. West Seneca East leads Williamsville South 8-7, approaching halftime. And Newfane with a big lead, still unbeaten, taking on Gowanda Pine Valley at home, 36-24 in the third. 1st and 10 for Lancaster, nearing the red zone. Another catch in the slot, and then finally brought down a big hit coming from Carl Barnes in the secondary. It was Ryan Smith, the receiver. Spent some time at the quarterback slot tonight, too. The chains continue to move all the way to the Bennett, we'll call it the 16-yard line. Under 10 minutes to go. Matt King in the shotgun, one man on his hip, 2 receivers on his left and right. King drops back the pass, rolls to his right, evades the pressure, still on his feet, and gets out of bounds nicely past the 15-yard line, close to the 10. Lancaster trying to get a quick score, like you just said.
Yeah, King's answering the challenge that we were just talking about up here. Beautiful pass on the previous play to Smith, who's had a great all-around game on both sides. He's played quarterback, which is coming in cold, and threw the touchdown pass, but that was negated. But he's made catches. He had a really nice reception, settling down in the zone there. So momentum here for the Legends.
2nd and 6 from the Bennett 13. King in the shotgun, looks towards his left, couple steps and fires. It is incomplete, caught on the sideline by the official, but it is an incomplete pass. 3rd down coming up. Nice catch from the official on the sideline.
It was kind of weird. Like, did that just happen? One of those things that happens in a game. It's like, okay. All right. Obviously, this is 4-down territory here for Coach Rupp. So might see a little mesh concept here with both of the slots crossing.
Here's King stepping up. King towards the far sideline. He is shoved out of bounds by Dontre Hampton. So 4th down coming up. 4th and about 5 here for Lancaster. They need at least the 1st down to keep this big drive going. And the clock running out of time, just over 9 minutes to go.
And that was a major win for Bennett. They brought 4 and got the pressure needed, and they dropped everybody else. There was just nothing there. But our producer, Dana, mentioned rain out in Newfane. And now, as you can see in the lights, there's some rain falling here at All High.
4th and 5 at the 13-yard line. Matt King in the shotgun. The senior fires to his left. It is caught going into the end zone for the touchdown. Ryan Smith, the junior, hangs on, and the Legends are on the board.
Bennett came with a blitz off the right side here. Great ball. Coming back from injury, and you see the different dynamic when you have your starting quarterback in. So huge touchdown. Now Bennett has to answer. They cannot just sit back and hope that the they can just bleed the clock. They're going to have to attack because this Lancaster offense just showed you that they can go down and score in minimal time once they get the rhythm and also once they stop beating themselves with penalties.
What a way for Ryan Hartwig to record his first touchdown catch of the season. He came into tonight with the 6 catches for 69 yards, the majority back in week 2 against Orchard Park. A memorable catch and the touchdown 13 yards out from the arm from Lancaster's rifleman, Matt King. King was slinging in his 16th touchdown of the season. Matt King has also only thrown 2 picks. That's a pretty nice ratio. And a big touchdown overall for Lancaster.
And that was a time and rhythm play. It was 1, 2, 3 pass. So that's 2 players working together all off season, but also those 7-on-7 games that you play in the off season. And King, tall at 6'3", 215. He can see right over the top of the line. That's a beautiful high school play. But they're going to need more of that. Plenty of time left, 9:27 left. I mentioned earlier that I thought it was going to take a turnover. I still do, just because of the minimal time of 9:27 on the clock. So it'll be interesting if I think it's a little early to play the onside kick game, but they're taking a while on this kickoff.
Well, let's see what happens as on the kick, Christian Schlesinger with a big boot, bouncing at the 10 and scooped up by Eskridge of Bennett. Eskridge makes his way, does a little dance, squirts out back to the outside, still on his feet, and then finally brought down just shy of the Bennett 25-yard line. Jack Eskridge has done a little bit of everything for Bennett this season, gets the return, and the Tigers take over.
He's just fun to watch, and I could feel Coach Rupp's heart beating from here because you just had 3 legends, had them all wrapped up. He comes out of it and almost breaks it for another huge play. He's a special player. So excellent job on the special teams there, and Eskridge gets some positive yardage out of it. So most important drive of the game is right here, right now. Bennett coming out in their pro formation.
1st and 10, and then some movement in the trenches as we have another quick update from our good friend Tom Prince. Williamsville South is on top of unbeaten West Seneca East 14-8 with 7:09 left in the 3rd quarter. That's our other game, as we mentioned, brought to you tonight on our YouTube page here at WNY Athletics. Joe Okada, what a great job he has done for his alma mater, leading the Billies. Took over a couple of years ago. Jim Marino and the Trojans off to a great start. But after the penalty back here in Buffalo tonight.
Well, it's raining right down the street too. And, I made the point about rain. And this is just such a classic game that now you're handling a wet ball. And you're throwing a wet ball and trying to catch a wet ball. So you don't have the wet field, though. These fields here, they stay pretty dry. And I went out there pregame to get a feel, and man, that is a beautiful, beautiful. It's like you're walking on a carpet full of air. It's really nice. But okay, we've got 2nd and 9 after the penalty. Lancaster's doing everything they need to do here to get the ball back.
Bennett in the driver's seat, up by 15. Here's a delayed handoff. A burst to the outside. Great spin move from Valentine, still on his feet. And then finally brought down just past the Bennett 35-yard line. Jimmy Valentine has done a lot this season for the Bennett Tigers. He has the 2 rushing scores tonight. And head coach Steve McDuffie spoke highly of him when we got a chance to talk to Steve over the phone, and just that mentality, part of the everybody eats mentality on the offensive side of the ball. And Jimmy has certainly ran with that. As it's going to be 1st and 10, ball spotted on the Bennett 39-yard line. Tigers lead 22-7 over Lancaster. Bennett in the power I. Here's the handoff. A great burst from Dontre Hampton, tripped up at the 43-yard line by the Lancaster defense. Looks like Ryan Herberger, the linebacker for Lancaster, on the stop. 2nd down. The clock continues to tick. Game management is key.
Yeah, number 12 there. He's had issues with that footwear all game, and he just lost a cleat. So, yeah, Valentine actually checked himself out after that incredible third down run to move the chains. So, be interesting to see if he's probably just coming out, get a little breather, get a little water, and freshen up for the next possession.
2nd and 6 at the 47. Here is Hampton once again crossing into foreign territory. The Legends need everyone on deck to slow him down at the Legends' 45-yard line. The first defender slow to get up is Chase Sagliani. Under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Then it leads 22-7, but it doesn't really feel that way.
Well, that was a heck of a run there by Hampton. It's always awesome to see a running back run every run like it's his last. The old Walter Payton mentality of never die easy. Just that's how he ran, and it's inspiring to see these running backs run every run like it's their last.
1st and 10 for Bennett at the Lancaster 45. Here's a handoff. Valentine gets met at the line of scrimmage by Ryan Herberger, and also in on the stop, Justin Tubner. One of the first times tonight here, Ryan, that Lancaster was able to bottle up Valentine.
Well, it's desperation time because Bennett is bleeding that clock, but they're doing it with an attacking mindset, and they're really have the mentality of finishing the game. But from Lancaster's standpoint, the defensive coordinator, he's going to have to start making some calls like that and shooting the gaps and blitzing. And obviously, no one expects a pass here, but Coach McDuffie, he's going to go for the win. He's not just going to play not to lose.
2nd and 12 from the 47 after the 2-yard loss. A couple of yards up to the 44. The Tigers once again in the ground game. Nairi Feaster, the ball carrier. And then leading the charge was Lancaster's top tackler, Braden Klinger, one of the few returning veterans that was in the lineup last year for head coach Eric Rupp defensively. He gets the stop. It's now 3rd and 9 with 5:40 to go.
Yeah, Klinger, 3-year starter at the end, very strong player, and all Western New York potential.
Bennett back in the power I formation. Here's the carry with the speed of Valentine. Takes down one defender, then a second, and then brought down at the 35-yard line. In on the stop, it looked like Dan Frank of Lancaster as well as Klinger again. Another big run from Valentine up to the 35-yard line with under 5 minutes to go. And then looks like a flag just came in. Beg your pardon, there wasn't a flag. Might have just been the shadows here tonight at all high. But it's going to be fourth down and short.
All right, big play here. I expect a quarterback sneak, play it safe. But when you got Valentine back there, and let's give some shout out to the fullback there.
Here's the handoff.
Oh,
going
it's not Valentine.
Up, it is Hampton. Dontre Hampton with a big run close to the 20-yard line. Another big run here from Bennett.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to number 9 there, the fullback for the Tigers.
Nairi Feaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feaster, I love his stance. He's down there. He's got it's almost like a sprinter stance. You don't see that a lot in football, and he has just been pounding it down in there, getting open for his tailback. So that play right there just sealed the victory for Bennett. Lancaster, although there was a game a few weeks ago where Lancaster was on a similar situation. I think they were up 2 scores with about the same amount of time on, and they found a way to lose that game to Jamestown. So anything could still happen, but that was an attitude play right there. 4th and short, and we're going to run it down your throat for 18 yards.
1st and 10 up to the Lancaster 21. On the end around is Eskridge, making his way close to the goal line. We have a flag as Eskridge crossed the end zone. There is a flag on the field going against the Bennett Tigers, a holding penalty moving them back 10 yards.
Yeah, what a call by Bennett. They've been pounding it between the tackles the entire drive, and then, hey, let's just take an opportunity to get the ball to our dynamic playmaker in space. Unfortunately for Bennett, touchdown negated by a holding penalty. I love the call. You know, it's very minimal risk. It was a little bit of a pitch back, but that's something that when you have Estrix back there, he's got phenomenal hands. So love the call by Coach McDuffie, going basically going for the win on that call.
So 1st and 20, ball spotted on the 35. Here's the handoff. Once again, through the traffic. Here is Hampton, still on his feet, getting to the outside. And then Hampton gets tripped up on the run. A good heads-up play from the Lancaster defense.
I think Hampton might have scored there. I don't know if he got tripped up or if he just lost his footing again. Let's see the replay here. Beautiful blocking at the point of the tack. Okay, so he got tripped and then he sort of lost his balance. Excellent replay there by our producer, Dana.
2:40 to play here in Buffalo. Tigers trying to stay unbeaten in Class AA play. To the outside, another carry for Valentine. Goes off another defender. Valentine ruled just short. Brought down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal coming up. The Tigers inching their way for the exclamation point.
Yeah, and you sort of get that feeling by the body language of the Legends as they know they're defeated. Don't you get that feeling, Joe? This entire drive has been a statement drive by Coach McDuffie and the Bennett Tigers. They have done anything they wanted to do running the football down the field. And that's what you want to see from your team. Going out there with that 0-0 mindset and saying, let's go down, score a touchdown, and finish it.
There's the handoff up the middle. And that makes the hat trick, to borrow from the sport of hockey, for Jimmy Valentine, his 3rd rushing score, this time from the 1. And Bennett has now a 3-score lead, the PAT coming up.
Yeah, in the previous play, I thought Valentine could have scored, but he elected to go out of bounds. And coach says, you should have scored there. I'll score here. And he virtually almost went in untouched. So statement drive by Coach McDuffie and the Bennett Tigers. They're going to come out of here with a huge win on their home field. And they are going to win the Section 6 Class AA regular season championship. So congratulations to Coach McDuffie and his coaching staff and all of the Bennett Tigers. Something tells me there's a good opportunity. We might see these two teams again in a few weeks.
So movement and then a flag on the field with 2:25 to go.
So Joe, for our viewers, bring us up to date on some of the other AA teams that are in contention to win the sectionals as well.
Yeah, so we have mentioned all night that Bennett controlling its destiny for the top seed. By the way, all 7 teams get into the postseason. The number 1 seed gets the first round bye. Bennett controlled its own destiny tonight to get the top seed heading to the final 2 weeks. They still have to play Orchard Park next week. A win, if Lancaster had won, they would have been able to wrap up league play with a 5-1 record, as the 2-point pass play is low and no good for Bennett. So Lancaster controlled its own destiny tonight. Orchard Park could still, coming into tonight, had a chance at the number 1 seed, still in it. They're taking on Hutch Tech this weekend. Bennett needed to beat Lancaster as well. And then Jamestown, Niagara Falls, that's likely your numbers 4 and 5 scenario. Still a lot there, but Bennett in the driver's seat to clinch the AA title once again under Coach Steve McDuffie.
And Niagara Falls played Bennett pretty tough, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so looks like we're going to have a very competitive bracket in AA this year, which is nice to see. So who does Lancaster play next week?
Depew in their rival game.
And that's going to be the last one?
Yes, to wrap up the regular season. But tonight for Lancaster, this is their last one in AA. Next week, it's a non-leaguer against Depew.
That's right. It is rivalry week next week.
A lot of big games next week. Newfane, Wilson, TNT, Depew, and Lancaster. One of the last times Depew is going to take on Lancaster. As here is a squib kick recovered by the Legends.
Well, for the Legends, it will be interesting to see if Matt King comes out to quarterback this last drive. It looks like he's going to, so that's a good sign from an injury perspective. But it'll also be interesting to see if he plays next week versus Depew, or if they're going to rest that shoulder. So hopefully Matt is healing up next week and he's healthy going to the sectionals because obviously lost his junior season with the torn meniscus. So you want to always root for every athlete to be able to finish their seasons healthy. But for Lancaster, you got to look at this game, and they obviously had some bad luck with the injury to Matt King. Touchdown negated. You know, that was a huge.
And Matt King's next pass, waiting for the call. It was intercepted, so that's a turnover. And now Bennett can wrap up the night with 2:11 to go.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see from Lancaster. Coach Rupp's definitely going to be disappointed because, again, you're always looking for a little bit of momentum, maybe go down and score, and then you're looking at 28-14, and so that's unfortunate for the Legends. But hats off again to the Bennett Tigers and making the plays needed to seal the deal.
So the Bennett offense returns, ball spotted on its own 35-yard line. Jacob Dowell under center, gets the handoff. Moving now is Hampton, makes his way up past midfield, gets to the 40, has the open daylight, and it is going to be a 65-yard touchdown for the junior, Dontre Hampton. It is all Bennett here in this one.
Phenomenal run by Hampton. Good patient run. Excellent blocking up top, up front, and then just one cut and goodbye.
Dontre Hampton recording his third rushing score of the season. He had one last week against Lockport and then one against Clarence back in week 4. Part of that running attack for Bennett that had 21 rushing scores coming into this evening's affair with Lancaster. And the Bennett Tigers still piling on the points here, now leading by a score of 34-7 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm happy for Hampton because he's had a couple plays where I think he might have scored, but he lost his footing, and he's got to feel great after that long run. There's a lot of good feelings in sports, and when you're out in front of the pack and you know you're going to score, that is an excellent feeling. And you look at the score, and if people didn't watch the game, and they're going to see 36-7 and say, "Whoa, Bennett really took it to him." And it really wasn't that game, right? It was 8-0 at half. They had the touchdown negated. That could have been a tie game right there for the first half, and they've really opened up the scoring the last couple of drives, and they've earned it. And that's what's they've earned that 36-7 score every point on both sides. So Lancaster is the highest scoring team in Section 6. I'm pretty sure I was told. And they just got held to 7 points on a crystal clear night. There's a little rain in the fourth, but yes, they lost their quarterback, but they still had their opportunities. And if you're Coach McDuffie, I think that's what you really got to pound home to your team is you just held the number one scoring team, not just in AA, but all in Section 6 to 1 touchdown. And if you can continue to play that style of defense, then it's not just the section championship out at One Bills Drive. Then it's Rochester and possibly the Carrier Dome. So Coach McDuffie's got everything he needs here to make another deep run into the sectionals and make him and his program's third trip into the Carrier Dome, I believe. It's the third trip. I know he won one, but did they lose one there too?
I believe so. I believe it's the third. I know that in 2022 they had the big state run. Both teams, by the way, I was looking it up. Both teams in the latest New York State Sports Writers rankings were both in the top 25 in AA across the state. Bennett at 20, Lancaster at 25. And as we get another short run play, but absolutely, for Steve McDuffie, the success he's had 15 years now, this is going to be win number 129 at the helm with the Tigers. Born and raised in Buffalo, a former Grover Cleveland president, played for Art Cerati back in the day. He shared his favorite memory of the 1991 Harvard Cup against Burgard. He was patient all night, and Coach Cerati finally said, now is your time. They gave the young Steve McDuffie the ball, Ryan, 12 times in a row on a 97-yard drive. He scored the big touchdown. He brought it in. It was his favorite memory of his senior year and as a player. Spoke highly of Coach Cerati, who he mentioned passed away in April. And now Coach McDuffie is trying to replicate and be the role model that Art was once for him. Minute to go and continuing to keep this going.
That's an awesome story for Coach McDuffie, and he's got many excellent memories from a coach and a player. And right now, I can guarantee you, the only memory he's looking to build is the one that occurs next week, because that is how that's how he perceives the game of football and the game of life now is the present moment. In the interview, I know he mentioned it's not all about winning sectional championships and going to the Carrier Dome and all that. It's about the next game and focusing and getting prepared. And it showed tonight that he had his club prepared to play one of the best teams in Western New York with a statement win, 36-7, and they are the Section 6 AA regular season champions.
So congratulations, Bennett, on the huge win tonight. Moving to 6-1 and 5-0, a perfect 5-0 in Class AA play. The Tigers still have to take on Orchard Park to finalize it, but they're looking pretty good right now for that AA title. Lancaster falls to 5-2 and 4-2 in AA to wrap up their slate in Class AA and take on longtime rival Depew next week. Once again, our final score, Bennett with the 36-7 victory over Lancaster. Ryan Mountain, it's always good to have you on the call. Thanks for coming out tonight. And a big thanks to our producer, Dana, our camera operator, Josh, and I'm Joe Kraus. We thank you all for tuning in from the iconic All-High Stadium. The Bennett Tigers with a big win over Lancaster. You've been watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics.